What is up, guys? So I'm here with week 17 review, and if I had to give this week a title, it would be the week of FOMO, otherwise known as fear of missing out. And I missed out a lot, and my data shows that. Let me show you the calendar on how the week looked. So on this week, I'm down a total of 1.1%. I was up on Monday, I did not trade on Tuesday, and for the rest of the week, had relatively small losses, and I just couldn't get a grip on a good trade. I kept looking and kept finding these close patterns, but nothing ever was solid. Nothing really piqued my interest, and I just hit a home run. None of that happened. This whole week, I was just missing one after the other, and it drove me insane, to say the least. But physically on the week, I slept well, so there's no issues there. I'm still getting into the swing of things because this is the new house. This was the first full week in the new house. Not full week. I had one day I didn't trade because I was doing stuff in the house. But for the most part, my first in the house week. I continued on trading this 5-minute pullback strategy that I've been trying to develop, but I could not find that home run this week. I didn't find that perfect setup. I didn't find anything, and if I did, I missed it. I was too late. Overall in the week, though, down 1.1% after having 3 red days. That's good in the terms of I'm losing less, but I also traded a high amount. Nonetheless, let's get into the data on the week and show you how that is reflected. So going into the details on the week, down $273.80. My average daily gain / loss was minus 68 bucks. My average winning trade 95, average losing trade 73. So I'm making more money on my trades than I am losing. So I just don't win as much as I lose. So that's still the issue, my accuracy percentage. If you look at my win to loss ratio circle, I'm winning a third of the time and losing the other 2/3. Now, what's crazy is how closely this resembles my trading on the past 8 weeks. So if I filter this to 7-ish weeks, that percentage changes by 0.1%. It's identical. My accuracy is not improving, and there's an issue there. And I believe that has to do with me over trading way too much. And it's hard because when I see, I have a good day, when I have a great week, up 2.7%, and your Monday is good, you take a day off Tuesday, you have 3 days left in the trading week, and you don't see that perfect setup, it gets to you and you start trading the BS setups and the stuff that's not weak, it's not proven, doesn't look good, and you're just trading to trade. I had that happen a ton. Like I said, this week was the week of FOMO, and I hated it. It almost makes me want to change my technique completely, just knowing that you got nowhere this week with a great technique that was working last week. Why isn't it working now? But getting back to this data just on the week, it turns out that I lose almost every time before 10 o'clock. So the first 30 minutes is a loss. I need to stop trading that first 30 minutes. I'm still experimenting with that technique. I know I tell myself next week I'm going to follow my rules, and it never happens. So it's more emotional than you think, and trading it's extremely emotional, you guys. It's the hardest thing to get around is your head, your gut instinct. I just want to get in. And if I can control that, I think I'll be in a profitable scenario in good standings to hopefully become a profitable trader. But performance by intraday duration, my 10 to 20 minute trades is where I see profit. It looks like anytime over that, I'm shitting the bed. What does make sense is that all my losses happen, relatively early on in trades. So in the first 10 minutes, if I'm not seeing potential, I'm usually out, and that makes sense, right? Breakout or bailout. If it doesn't work right away, you should get out. And if you see potential during that time, you'll sell out in the 10 to 15 minutes, and I see profit. So that's going to vary with everybody's technique, but that's how I am specifically. This week, I made money on stocks between $2 and $5. So I'm kind of curious on what that looks like for the past 7-8 weeks. Let's check that out real quick. So it turns out my profitability in the long run is stocks between $10 and $20, which is interesting. So the higher price stocks, I tend to lose less, but I also trade the lower price stocks a lot more, which could be the reasoning. I haven't had enough exposure to higher price stocks to know those stats to the T. So let's check out my winning trades. I had 2 of them out of the 5 this week. We'll start with Riot, where I had 135, and let's check out those details. So Riot, this trade happened on the 27th on Monday. Let me see if I can pull up the 1 minute. Okay, yeah, so this is where I do ABCD or breakout style tradings, or breakout style trades where I put a feeler in, I buy another for an average in the middle, and then I sell, buy again and sell, and then I stopped out here. So I had a profit there, which was, I think 135 is what it said. Yeah, 135. So not bad. On six different buy orders. So that's maybe $30 if I'm doing $5 an order, which, I don't know the exact number of my commissions just yet on the ECN fees, but all I know is that's a profitable trade on the day at 135 and only making six transactions. But my other one, WHLN, was 180, checking those details. This one I traded a lot more, and you can see I actually sold out multiple times, but going into this in detail, let's check the 1 minute. So the first one was a false breakout, did not happen, and I was doing the 5 minute pullback, waited for confirmation. Here I entered, bought again, had my average down here. I think I sold partial, sold some more, and here is where I remember going in with more size towards the end. And then I sold, broke even. So that was a profit of 180 on the week, not bad. That basically covers the details on the week. Physically, I need more strategies than just the 5 minute pullback. I want to see if I can get into a 1 minute pullback and get into the action early. In the first 30 minutes, I'm trying to wait for a 5 minute pullback, but those usually happen after 10. And those 1 minute pullbacks occur a lot more, but it's hard to depict the 1 minute pullback from a reversal, like the trend is changing and it's going red for the day. That's usually what happens to me, and that's why I've been hesitant to try the 1 minute pullbacks. But if I can figure something out with that, I'll have more than one option of trading, which will prevent this as much FOMO that I felt this week, trying to find that very specific setup that makes me profitable of the 5 minute pullback. I'm also thinking of getting into bigger picture trade ideas, which means, at least to me, that means like, what's the bigger picture on this stock as the day approaches closing, right? Is this going to move up for the rest of the day, or is it going to move down? And with the amount of FOMO I had this week, I'm considering, starting to dabble back in that short game, even though I know the complications with shorting in a small account with an offshore broker. If I can get pretty good at the overall trade, buying at the peaks as it fades off for the day, I can see a better profit in the long run. So like my trades would last a couple hours as opposed to 10 to 20 minutes where I'm making profit currently. And it'll be a whole new ball game for me to have like multiple options where I can go either long or short on any trade. So with that said, this week was a ton of FOMO, did not like it. I want to branch out into new styles. I had good sleep, still getting into the swing of things with the new house. And for next week, I'm going to try dabbling with the 1 minute pullback and some other strategies, not just the 5 minute. And we'll see how that works and how that goes, because having this much FOMO was just awful. It really eats you up because you're waiting for that winning trade that you had a few times last week, and you're not seeing anything, so you enter in a sloppy setup and you pay for it. So with that said, that's going to conclude week 17 review. Again, down 1.1%, not a bad loss, and it's still on track to plateau or break even and go back up next week. But who knows? We'll see when that happens. So until then, I will see you guys next time, and have a good time trading.